Hello and welcome to Golden PCH. In this video I want to show you this little mini PC from AOpen. I placed a floppy disk next to it to show how small it actually is. This little multimedia PC is powered by AOpen and model is XC Cube edition. We will see the full model name later. Unfortunately, previous owner tried to clean front panels with something that removed a bit of the paint. I think I will repaint these two panels when it's a little warmer outside. The case is in piano black and gets scratches when you look on it. On the back we have two PS2, serial, parallel, VGA, coax RCA ports, FireWire, digital audio out, internet, two USB 2 and audio connectors. To the right we can already see two slots for extension cards, and one uses now for digital video out. On the front we also have audio and USB connectors. If you watch one of my earlier videos, you probably know that I like everything from AOpen. Every time I get something new from this brand, I like them more and more. This case is made of aluminium, which will never be affected by corrosion. Brilliant! Despite its small size, it can hold quite a lot. Let's take a look inside and see what we have. First we can see AGP slot. And there is an add-on card installed. It provides DVI and S-video outputs. It's not actually a graphics card, just video output connectors. It's an interesting solution. I think this is the first time I've seen something like this in AGP slot. Here we have another smart solution, AGP card lock. It's very easy to move it to the side and unlock the card. Behind IGP there is a PCI slot, if someone wants to use another sound card, Voodoo 2 graphics card or something else. To remove the drives holder, you just need to loosen two screws on the top. And that's all, very simple. When I bought it, it came with Windows 7 installed on an 80GB Samsung 3.5-inch SATA drive. But of course I'm going to switch back to Windows XP. As you can see, cable management is really clean for the best airflow. And I'm actually impressed by how low temps are, especially with the Prescott CPU, which everyone knows likes to get hot. Now let's remove the heatsink and check out the CPU. As I mentioned, this is a Prescott, which uses a lot of power and gets hot. To save some power I'm swapping it for a Northwood 2.8 GHz. And if you're wondering why I want to save the power, it's so I can run a dedicated graphics card in an NGP slot. And now finally we can take the CPU out. Power supply is a tiny 270 watts unit from FSP group, and it's so small that finding a replacement is really difficult. On the screen now we have both CPUs, Prescott on the left and Northwood on the right. The Northwood is a little slower and has half level 2 cache, but it didn't make a big difference in games until around 2000-2001. There are two DDR memory banks on the motherboard, and here we have one 1GB stick running at 400 MHz. Let's install the new CPU and put everything back together. The heatsink is a huge Cooper unit. It's very quiet and does excellent job cooling, even the Prescott CPU. After swapping the CPU, the next upgrade will be the hard drive. I'm going with a quieter and faster SSD from Kingston. Finally, the most important decision is which graphics card to use. I first considered the GeForce 4 Ti 4800, but it would completely block airflow, so I'm going with a smaller FX 5500. Before we get to capture device, let me show how quiet this PC is. Now we are in the capture device, so let's take a look in the BIOS. The BIOS is another thing they did really well. Usually computers like this come with a very basic BIOS, where you can only change boot priority. But here you have almost everything you could want. Lots of options to enable, disable and configure devices, good overclocking settings, and even a nice touch in form of credits, where they list the people who work on it. We designed this board with pride, and yes, I agree, they actually did. Now we are in the Windows XP and start with checking our system specification. And we can see that CPU is Intel Pentium 4 2.8 GHz, motherboard AOpen XC-Cube AX65-2, chipset Intel 865, we have 1 GB of memory, GeForce FX 5500, Kingston 120 GB and AOpen CD recorder. We checked the temperatures before 3D Mark and gaming, and we'll compare it after the gaming. We can also see the CPU specification and the graphics card specification. 3D Mark 2001 runs pretty well at 800 by 600, and I think that games to around 2001 should run perfectly fine on this system. To play newer titles with higher details would probably need a more powerful graphics card, but I don't want to do that because of the limited power supply. The benchmark finished successful and the system scored 8031 3D marks. That's about 3000 points more than in my last video with FX 5200 and Celeron 2.2 GHz. Soldier of Fortune 2 wasn't really playable on that system, but it should run much better here, so let's start with that game. 800 by 600 and high detail level.
Кто-то был за шум.
I need to find a way to get up on the roof.
Я вижу его!
Colin McRae Rally 2 is the next game we checked, and also 800 by 600 and a high detail level. As I said earlier, we would check the temps after some gameplay, and after we running games for a while, we have 50 degrees on CPU, which is very good for Pentium 4. Both games runs pretty well on this system. This is another AOpen machine in my collection, and honestly it's a great solution for anyone who wants to play retro games on real hardware but doesn't have a lot of space. If I had point out downside, it would probably be a small power supply. But on the other hand, whole point on this PC is to be compact, and that's exactly what it is. It was all for this video, thanks for watching and hope see you again.